I'm sorry, the other day I put out a video that had another audio track on it, so today we are going to try and redo that again, hopefully with no second audio. This video is going to be dedicated to the end narrative of Warhammer 40,000. We are now reaching the end of this edition in terms of codex releases. The last one that's on the horizon is going to be the Dark Eldar one. If the rumors are to be believed, that should be out by the end of October, and that means the narrative then to wrap up the edition officially starts. So let's jump in, let's talk about this, rumor about this, theorize, speculation, everything that we love to do on this channel. Let's get waffling. Just to briefly summarize what's going on for those people who may not be aware of what goes on with a Warhammer 40,000 edition. When they launch the edition, we start getting all the codex. It's great, it's cool, you know, people get new books, new rules, everything like that. But towards the end of it, once we get the last one, then they put out a narrative story that basically connects to the next edition. And this is the point where we're going to now. I'm hearing around December time, we should be getting this narrative launched. The reason why December time, because apparently, as I just mentioned, the Dark Eldar Codex is coming out in October. November should be filled with Horus Heresy, some AOS releases. December, they never really put anything big out there except Christmas boxes and do some big announcements, like announcements for like what's coming next year in terms of models, and also, of course, trailers and stuff for potential narrative stuff. If you look back to the last time we did this with 9th edition, December was the time they started to do the Arcs of Omen teases. So I personally think they've got to stay on that track and do the teases for whatever narrative this is going to be this December. So what is going to happen with this end edition? Well, let's start with the rumors, because I know you chaps absolutely love to eat rumors on this channel, and I've been hearing very, very piratey things. And the first big pirate I want to start with is one of my favorite pirates, and that is HURON Blackheart. The rumors, we've been talking about this now for absolute years on this channel. Apparently, Huron, Trays in the Infinite, Chaos Icarius, they've been done for a while, but I am hearing now that Huron is on the edge of getting a new model towards the end of this edition. Like I said, piratey themed, the Red Corsairs, they go around robbing, plundering, purging anyone, stealing all their resources. I actually see Huron Blackheart as the true leader of Chaos. I'm sorry, Abaddon fans, right? Yes, you can have your Black Legion. I personally think the Red Corsairs are way, way cooler. Now, what I hope on top of a new Huron Blackheart model is that the Red Corsairs actually do get some love. Look what we just had with the Night Lords, where they got that upgrade kit with Kill Team. They got like new chest pieces, helmets, backpacks, like all the little flair that goes on them. That was absolutely fantastic. I want more of that stuff for all the warbands. But if Red Corsairs and Huron Blackheart do get a new model, then surely this is what Games Workshop should be investing in, right? Red Corsair stuff, more warband stuff to make these factions 10 times more cooler. And on top of that, and this is why I'm calling it pirate rumors, is that Eldar Corsairs, this is something that we've been speaking about on the channel now for what, nearly a year now, if I'm not mistaken. Six months plus, right? One of the big rumors that we spoke about on this channel is that Eldar Corsairs are supposed to be getting new models as well. And Eldar Corsairs are basically Eldar pirates, and that's led by Prince Yril. And the rumors are that Prince Yril is supposed to be getting a new model. There's supposed to be a brand new Viper kit. Now, over on the US website, the Viper kit is sold out and it's not restocked online. That is, of course, like a couple of things. It could be like they're waiting for more stock to come in. They're actually designing a new kit and they're just trying to sell the kits that they've got now, and then they're not restocking them, or it's going to be like a brand new box design. I'm going to go with it's a brand new kit, because of course I trust these rumors, as I always bloody do. So new Viper kit, apparently there's going to be some like new jump troops. I'm not sure if they're melee, shooty, or anything like that. And also I heard a part of this was a new Seer. Now I don't know if the whispers and whispers, because that's what happens with whispers. It's whispers upon whispers upon whispers, and the Seer was the Warhammer Plus model. I'm not too sure, but we definitely did get a new Eldar Seer model in terms of a Warhammer Plus model. So I'm seeing these rumors coming to fruition a little bit more in my mind's eye, but again, it's down to you if you want to believe him. I believe him. Just because I believe him, you don't have to believe him. Now, there's one more like fully speculation thing that could make this fully pirated, if it is a pirated end of the edition. There's more speculation, more theory, which you get into in a second. But what about freebooters? Yes, the orcs themselves. One of the big rumors that we have right now that we've been waffling about on this channel for bloody ages is that next edition, 11th edition, is all about Space Marines versus orcs. That's the narrative that they're going to go with. Just like the start narrative of this edition, which we'll talk about in a second, was Space Marines versus Tyranids. It's supposed to be Space Marines versus orcs. Gazskull, maybe he's going back to Armageddon. I'm going to do a separate video on that because there's so much potential in that bloody narrative where we can go down. But what I'm trying to get to is that, what if we do get brand new freebooters in terms of brand new orc models that then launch with 11th edition? We could be seeing an absolute massive range refresh for orcs. We've already had a few of them, but this could potentially fill the last voids that need that refresh a part of that armor. And I think what they're going to do with the end narrative of this edition is something similar to the Arcs of Omen, where they're going to name the book after that certain person, and that certain person then is going to receive a model. That's what happened with Arcs of Omen for everyone except Abaddon, if I'm not mistaken, because Abaddon already had his model. But Lionel Johnson and Farsight, when they did those books with Arcs of Omen, they all got brand new models. So maybe, just maybe, that this is going to follow the same pattern, and we're going to have HURON BLACKHEART. HURON BLACKHEART gets a brand new model. Yril, Prince Yril, he gets a brand new model. Some more stuff a part of his range. Red Corsairs, you know, come with HURON BLACKHEART. Other characters, maybe Trazen the Infinite, right? Maybe K.O. Sicarius, because again, those are some of the rumors that have been floating around for bloody years as well. One thing I do want to talk about is the current narrative that we have, the narrative that we've been in previously, and is this going to be some type of story now going forward? So the big thing I want to start with first is the one that we've all been experiencing now since the end of 8th edition, and that is the Pariah Nexus. We've been doing that, as I mentioned, since the end of 8th edition, and now it's carried over into this edition. 10th edition. What we now have is Vashtor there, we have Belisarius Call there, we have the Silent King there, Imitek the Stormlord, if I'm not mistaken. Guilliman is apparently heading back there. There's some hints, there's some speculation that the Lion could be going there, right? Because, of course, it was Vashtor who did all the damage to the Dark Angels, and maybe he wants his vengeance. So basically, right now at the Pariah Nexus, you have some massive characters, and we still don't have an end to that conflict. Could this be the edition where it actually wraps up that now in the end narrative, and then maybe in 10th edition, right, when we get all the campaign books, it focuses on the narrative that they launched this edition? I know, it's getting really confusing, but it seems like Games Workshop always work like a story behind, so it gives them breathing room in the coming stories to, you know, put out models and all that type of stuff. But what I'm trying to get to is that we're still in the Pariah Nexus, and I think it should be coming to a conclusion now. We should wrap that story up and start moving on to something bigger. So potentially the end narrative could be that wrap up, or they could flip that coin upside down and basically do what we always wanted, and that's get more stuff on this whole Tyranid conflict. The Segmentum Pacificus is on fire. It's being consumed by the Tyranids for biomass. We got a load of cool stories in the beginning, but since then, it's been more or less absolutely silent. It's been dead as the dodo, as I like to say on this channel, and people want to see more of that conflict. We had not Valdor there, Valoris there, we had the Imperial Fist there, right, the Phalanx there, fighting Custodians. There was so much amazing stories coming out about that, and it's just gone silent towards the end of this edition. They launched it brilliantly, but we're all just sat here now, just waiting. And this really goes into another thing as well, which is not really a rant, is that the Lion and Guilliman, when, by the Emperor's golden plums, are these two gonna meet? It would be an absolute perfect setting for this end narrative, for these two Primarchs to finally meet. This is what we want. This is what we've always wanted, right? We want the Lion to see Guilliman, Guilliman to see the Lion. They are not alone. Brothers reunited after 10,000 years, crusading together again to try and stop the flow of the enemies against the Imperium. We all want it. We all want a follow-up to this, and Games Workshop is not giving it us. Are they dragging it out for a certain reason? Absolutely no idea, but I guarantee one thing. If they gave us this in a narrative book, also I would like it in a novel, by the way, then people would buy this in the droves, right? It's like printing your own money, because this is what the story that people want to see, that people want to experience. They want to see these Primarchs reunited. Maybe it's none of that stuff. Maybe it's just going to be random stories, random narrative events happening around the galaxy. Like I said, maybe like one book will be on HURON BLACKHEART, and it's his adventures, what's going on with the Great Rift and where he is. Maybe one would be Prince Yril and it's his adventures with what's going on. Maybe the other one would be Kato Sicarius and it's his adventures with Gilliman and stuff like that. You know, Atreus in the Infinite, his adventures, what's going on with his. We absolutely have no idea at this moment in time. But what I do love about the end narrative stuff is that, guess what? It gives us new narrative, things that I love talking about on this channel. Not only that narrative, it also gives us new models. And is the chance to bring the foil back weekly, because that's what happened with the Arcs of Omen, then please give me all the opportunity to do that, because I'm excited and I can't wait to see it. As I mentioned, I think it's going to be launching in December. I'm not saying that the first book is coming out in December. I think the first tease of the narrative is going to be coming out in December, because again, what they normally do is teasers, do an advent calendar and stuff like that, and we start guessing, we start, you know, predicting what is going to be coming then next year. And I think there's going to be big hints personally to some big narrative characters. Still some refreshes out on the menu to get before this edition is over. We're just under a year now potentially for the 11th edition to release. The rumors are that it's end of spring, start of summer, which makes sense. That's what they always do. 2026. So what, 11, just under 12 months now for that to happen. So the gears are going to start turning big, fast, full of lube very soon. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching this waffle, as always. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, any predictions, I'd love to see your predictions. What would you like for the end narrative? What would you like to see, right? Is it going to be something that bridges 10th to 11th with the Orcs? Is it going to be the Pariah? Is it going to be something just randomly? Post it down below, and we'll have a chinwag down there, as we always do. See ya, have a great day, evening, night, where you are in the world, and bye-bye.